When we talk about coral reefs, we know that coral reefs is a really beautiful, magnificent, and a really colorful organism that live inside deep down the sea. So, did you know coral reefs' main role a shelter to the millions amount of space sea. Notice that coral reefs is important role is to maintain the strong wave current from the sea to hit down the main coast. So, what happened to the coral reefs nowadays? On the this is a two picture. First are the before and after. We will take a look at the before first. When we look at the before, it is a really magnificent coral reefs and there is a fish there. The fish happily swim in the sea and they're like no problem at all. So after that, look at the coral reefs. What happened to it? It is like a graveyard of fish. There are no fish there. So the organism has been died. Because why? So before I move on to my topic, my name is Daniel Izahin bin Ajar. I'm from AP 243 and today I'm going to give a speech about man's carelessness towards nature should be blamed for the destruction of the coral ecosystem. So before we move on to the main problem, let's take a look at the percentage statistics. And on the left side, the percentage of global reefs at risk by individual threat vectors. I want to highlight the high threat that is overexploitation. This is because our human activities. First, human should be blamed towards this factor. And secondly, we move on to the figure S2, S-2, that is reefs at risk from integrated local threats by region. So we go by a region first. And let's take a look at Australia. As, as you know, the Australia has a really low reefs at risk. Why? Because the Australia government has a really excellent system on maintaining the coral reefs. And when you look at the high reefs at risk, that is Southeast Asia, it is a really tragically and a really endangered species because why? Us in Malaysia, most of them use a fish bomb and pesticide to kill the fish. Not only the fish, but it is also affect the coral reefs at that area. So let's move on to our main problems. Why man's carelessness should be blamed? First of all, it is unscrupulous acts that benefit mankind but bring disastrous effect to the coral reefs. Yes, it is only benefit mankind, but it is not benefit to the organism, to the coral reefs. Because why? Because mankind is a really like a, I would say a great mind. They have they just think about them. They don't think about another thing. And secondly, showing an indifferent attitude, hence they are not concerned for the ecosystem and the organism in it. First of all, I think because of they are not well educated for the ecosystem and the organism living in it. So they just do what they think they want to do. Like they want to fish bomb around and they just want to gain more profit. And that leads to the third reason, greed for more gains or profits. So they just bombing the coral reefs to get more profit. Yes. So when we bomb the fish, it is a lot easier to get more fish than just use a traditional method. That's why they just use the fish bomb. And when we know the problems, so what are the ways to deal with these problems, right? So here's are the ways. At first, we can try to enforce the law by the government. Like the government try to make the double the charge for who is doing these bad activities, and so there are no more human will do such thing to the environment or to the reefs. So the second reason, there more police patrolling around the sea. So when we say this, like the police can increase their schedule of shift to the patrolling around the sea. So the fishermen will be not able to use the fish bomb because they're afraid of police. Because it is really dangerous if you use the fish bomb. And not only for the government and the police, you as the audience must take a role. First, we all play social media, so we can use our social media to raise awareness, like posting tweets or post story on in Instagram to give awareness, to give a more open idea about these coral reefs that are really in danger now. So as educator, like parents or teacher, they should teach their child to learn to love their coral reefs and protect it because it is really important for the future to see it. So next, um, when we do this all these ways, we protect our coral reefs. What will happen if we protect the coral reefs? So what will happen? Of course, we can save the biodiversity. It is a million diversity that lives in the coral reefs. So it is important for us to protect it. So secondly, there will be enough food source for us. So the fishermen will use another method, poaching method to collect some fish, like using a new technology nowadays. There are so many technology nowadays, like using a sensor to sense the fish. And thirdly, use use it as a tourist attraction. We can use it to gain more profit in terms of tourism. So there will be a lot of tourists, and Malaysia will gain more economic growth. Country. And so, in my conclusion, let's take a look back on ways to deal with the fish bomb. So we can enforce the law by the government. Secondly, more police patrolling around the sea, so the activities will be less. And thirdly, as an audience, we can raise awareness through social media. Nowadays, it is a really easy platform to promoting ideas. And fourthly, lastly, we can, as an educator, we can teach our child to start to love our coral reefs and tell them what is the importance of the coral reefs. So I think that that's all for me. I hope that you all take note and start to take action now. Thank you.